Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to talk about how to defend pick and roll or screens in NBA 2K20. Now, I've never had a video specifically titled on how to defend pick and roll, but a lot of times I upload these stage 3v3 gameplays, and y'all know, it's mostly pick and roll meta, so for those who play a lot of threes, you go against a lot of screens and you don't know how to defend them, we're here to talk about that in today's vid. So hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try to video 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. Now you guys can see, obviously the competition level's not too high. They have two SS3s and an SS2. The SS2 is a 92 overall. So just keep in mind, this is about average or above average competition level, but the demographic of 2K, you're going to run into a lot of people who are like this. They still have a good lineup. It's a playmaking shot creator at the 1, and then Primlock at the 2, so they have their point guard and lockdown at the 1 and the 2, then they have a big man at the 3. Pretty much stage meta. It's just, you know, a couple different build tweaks could be happening where you have a play lock at the 2 instead of the two-way sharp that they have, or you could have a rim sharp at the big man spot instead of the paint beast, but nonetheless, you get the deal. What I want to explain to you guys is, not all the time is it the highest competition level that's best for these tutorial videos, because a lot of times you're not running into the best of the best in all honesty. And to be real with y'all, regardless of competition level, we play this style of defense, so I'm going to introduce it to you guys. What we're here to talk about is playing sides or switch everything defense around the screens, and what makes it work is the style of our defense. So you can see Dopes on the facilitating finisher, shooting guard, play lock pie chart at 6'7". I'm on my finisher, which is the finishing and defense pie chart at 6'9". Now Kitchen in the corner when he's guarding on the defense is a non-factor. He's 6'1", doesn't really have the best defense. He has like, you know, 8 defensive badges or so, but still pretty much a non-factor when it comes to the defensive aspect. If you have a solid point guard in that corner, we could talk about, you know, making better rotations as we let the big slip through the paint, but we're here to talk about all this stuff. Anyway, I want y'all to understand, people in the stage, they don't advocate for our lineup. They really hate it. They just despise the fact that if you come in here with a big man that's shorter than 6'10", and honestly, they despise it so much that in their stage tournament rules, they literally don't even allow bigs that are under 6'10", and for reasons that you're gonna see, where it's pretty much we're playing sides defense. We don't give up any threes. The guards get super mad about it, and they'll even just call you trash for playing sides defense, right? Now, in this game, we're gonna flex it a little bit. We're not coming out in sides off rip. I'm just playing really high hedge defense because we're playing inside big. Now the reason I'm playing that high hedge is because I'm hoping that we can get situations like that. I don't want to give up easy early twos, like I don't want to give up free points early on in the game, but I definitely don't want to give up 3-pointers either. So you can see I'm playing pretty high off rip. Dope's trying to take away threes. He's just going to lead the point guard to the paint. Obviously, he's locking him up. Now, I understand not everybody's on an even playing field in comparison to us, where we have the communication, team chemistry. You would say stick skill, but again, a lot of people will sit here and call us trash for the way we're playing defense. But this is what happens to all the bigs that be sitting back here in the paint, just thinking your guard is going to strap up pick and roll, because that's just the fact of the matter. It takes 2 people to defend 2 people, all right? If you want to sit here and think that you can just defend pick and roll with one guy playing up on screens, he's going to fight through those screens all day, and the big can just sit in the paint and not worry about it, you're just flat out wrong. That's not how this works. Now, in the stage, it becomes even more meta to be playing sides defense, because a lot of times they have an outside big. My game right here, I'm a finisher, so like I said, I'm an inside big. I am a legend, so obviously I have a little bit of shooting aspect to my game, but not too much in comparison. But anyway, you can see, again, I'm playing super high. We're trying to take away the dunks, and that right there is the look we're trying to give up. We're trying to give a take to the paint, but still have it be contested. You don't want to give up free points, but you do want to make them roll to the hoop while still hoping you can get a chase down, get, you know, a rare 1 or 2 situations where you can go ahead and block the shot. Now this right here is our style of offense. If they're going to come out and play sides, this is the counter to it. You just hit the slips. It wasn't set up the best. I'll show you guys later in the gameplay how to actually beat the sides defense, but you know, with everything that I teach, I'm going to teach the counter to it as well. I'm a very unbiased person around here, even though people like to think it's the other way around. But anyway, again, this is what happens when you don't play sides defense. I really want to explain to you guys how this stuff works. If Dope is fully on the right of this screen and I'm fully on the left, we're not giving up threes. We're just going to give the big, you know, his slips to the paint, especially in the situation where you're up on the scoreboard already by 6. You don't want to give up any threes. If you give up the 2s, you can still compete with them pretty easily, because we know offense isn't too hard to do. But you can see if we're playing the front back and I'm not ready to take away one side, Dope takes away the other, they can get easy 3-pointers off. And now it's back to a 1-possession game. And they're coming out playing sides off rip, as you can see now, after they get torched by, you know, the 3-pointers twice in a row. So as soon as they try to take away the 3-pointers from us, we're taking our consistent 2s. A lot of people, they don't come out in this sides defense off rip, and they already get down in the scoreboard. This is the problem to it. Now, I'm going to teach you guys a couple like little pre-rotations that we talk about. We call it pre-switch around here, where you're going to see This one right here, he, you know, picks the ball up, so unfortunately I couldn't display it to you. But right there, pretty much what I'm saying with the pre-switch is I should have dropped sooner. Whenever the point guard is moving away from me, I need to drop behind the big man so the pick and roll game is no longer there. If the point guard is moving toward me, I need to step up. It's about as simple as that. And a lot of people who play sides defense, they'll just both take away the three-pointer and not do anything about it. But watch that. Dope drops back. He stays because the big didn't actually set a screen. It gets a little bit complicated. I can totally understand. And right here, I tip the pass at the Y button, and then, you know, he pops out for the three. So granted, they are still scoring on us. It's just in a lot of situations that I do want to talk about, because there's learning phase. There, you can learn from our mistakes and learn from what we're doing wrong right here. Now, this is where sides can go right. You can see we're going for the slip again. Kitchen tries to hit me. They get an on-ball poke as he tries to get the pass off. And just like that, now you have the chance to tie the game up or to, you know, actually take the lead. Now, this image right here is the perfect diagram of showing you how to perfect sides defense. So, this is what we're talking about with the pre-switch. You got to drop back before the big man rolls, or else you're going to give up the wide open twos. So, with all that said, as soon as this point guard moves left, that now becomes Dope's job. I have to rely on Dope to be the one that's going to step up to that no matter what. And then I got to get in front of the big man before he rolls, so I'm taking away his free points as far as like getting to the basket. Now, with this, you'll get in trouble sometimes as far as giving up easy twos. You're going to see they still don't get any of that off, but as soon as the big man rolls, I'm already dropping. That was just a really weird situation where he crossed over to the other side, but peep this right here. This is a perfect example. Dope is going to drop back before the big man rolls, so he's taking away the free slip. And especially in this situation where there's 3.9 on the clock, you do not want to give up free twos, bro. I don't know how many times I can stress that enough, especially late in the clock where, you know, and he looks for it too. He definitely looks for his big, and it just wasn't there, so he just has to chuck up the shot. And along with Dope getting the pre-switch off to where he gets in front of the big man before he rolls, he gets easy box out positioning as well for the rebound. Now right here, just passing lane. Like I said, this offensive display isn't really the best explanation of what to talk about right here. But look at that. Now, this is where if I would have committed to this and trusted what I'm talking to you guys about more, and again, learn from my mistakes, as soon as I see this point guard moving to the right, I got to get between the big man and the basket. And if you see this image, you're instantly thinking, why isn't the big man rolling? Like I said, this isn't the highest competition level, especially for inside bigs. You guys have to be able to detect this if you're talking the offensive end for running the pick and roll. Now, I'm going to call this not exactly a skill gap. I'm going to say the IQ gap. All right. We're making up new terms over here on the channel. But anyway, the IQ gap in this is for me versus that big man to detect when he rolls. So I'm talking, I have to know when he's going to roll before he does. And that's how I take away the free points. Now, if he doesn't roll for whatever reason, I'm still going to be able to get up to the left side of the pick, and then Dope can do that rotation as well. But you got to keep that in mind. Essentially what it comes down to is rotating to the paint before the big man knows to do it. And you can see he goes for the roll. I didn't commit to it enough. I was over here playing a passing lane, just doing bad, stupid stuff. Long story short is, if I would have committed to that, gotten to the paint, I would have taken away his roll right there. It completely stalls their offense out. He's looking, you know, he's just looking foolish pretty much for doing what he did. Now, this is where we talk about the offensive end. Now, for those who don't like the breakdowns, like I said, this is an informational video. I'm teaching and stuff like that too. Now, watch this. They're playing sides defense. I hit the slip. Miscommunication. They don't know how to communicate passing these things off. And this happens a lot when you have an undersized point guard in the pick and roll action. That's why I'm saying me and Dope as a two-man defender game works perfectly, because we have a 6'7" and a 6'9". The height difference between your on-ball lock and your big man is massive, because the fact that Dope is 6'7", I'm 6'9", that's 2 inches difference of height. Now, if you think about, for instance, these guys, I don't know what exactly their heights are, but I'm assuming the on-ball lock is around 6'5", and that the big man is around 7 foot or 6'11". Either way, that's anywhere from like 5 to 7 inches of height, where there's just so much discrepancy in perimeter defense, interior defense, the badge layouts that they probably have. They probably aren't comfortable dealing with the whole like big man being on the perimeter or guard being in the paint trying to defend me either. All right, so peep this little mastermind stuff that me and Kitchen be doing. So I'm gonna talk about offensive display instead of defense right here. So watch this. Kitchen moves to the right, right? They're playing sides. The big man's on the left, guard's on the right. Kitchen moves to the right. The guard's thinking that he's going to step up. Big man sees me like slipping, and he drops down for me. Now check this out. Kitchen goes back to the left, compensates for the fact that the big man was dropping down and the guard was thinking that he was going to step up to Kitchen. Now they're both in no man's land, just like that. And this right here is the problem of playing sides defense sometimes. When you both have, you know, not exactly the most similar defensive build, where one man is just super tall, the other is super short, it all just relates to, obviously the big man's going to lean toward always dropping down, and as soon as he tries to drop down and doesn't have the speed to make up for it to come back up, it just becomes super problematic. So long story short is, don't have tall bigs. That's what I'm gonna sit here and say. Whether you want to play front back or you want to play sides, to play front back with a shorter big is still better in general, just because you have more speed to compensate for playing that hedge defense and like play, you know, a little bit higher in the pick and roll, even if you're still guarding paint. Now right there, again, this is a bad offensive game. I missed Dope on an easy fast break. Literally take 5 seconds, 6 seconds to bring this back out to the top. Now, same old thing. I was going for the slip right there. Kitchen tries to shoot it. That was a real unfortunate shot right there. And low-key, it almost could have lost us the game, if being real. Now right here, again, I'm going for the slip. Same situation that I was trying to do the first time. He's looking to step up. That's just the stage mentality. You don't want to give up threes. And like I said, he doesn't have the speed to compensate for dropping back to me. Now, this is where I want to talk about the scoreboard stuff. Honestly, I'm probably just not going to talk too much more on the gameplay. I'll let it speak for itself. I want to talk about how the scoreboard affects playing sides defense or front back defense. So, the fact that we're up by 5 points, we can easily play sides because we're comfortable in just giving shots like that up, even though, like I said, I have just so much more speed than the dude in the pick and roll action. So it's just easy to get those chase down opportunities. But like I was saying, we can just play so much higher on the sides. We can make sure that we don't give up threes pretty much. I can jump out at stuff like that because end of the day, we're up by 5 points, 2 possessions. I already know, like, if we give up a 2, it's not the end of the world. However, for these guys, it is the end of the world if they give up a 2. And even at that, like I said, just playing sides defense, this is just a major mistake. And again, I don't mean to, like, you know, completely make fun of these guys because, like I said, they're probably not just, they're not here for the smoke. They're not here to try hard like we are. And that's just the fact of the matter. So don't be thinking I'm trying to clown people. But I will say, this big man stepping up so high in the press when I have slash takeover on as well, I mean, this is just setting yourself up for failure. You're forcing yourself to guard Kitchen in this situation. And if the guard leaves me, then I'm just wide open for the lob, and now we're up by 7 instead of 5, and it's just game over if we score another bucket. So long story short is, I mean, takeover is just a whole different discussion. Like, if you're trying to defend a slash takeover and a sharp takeover in the pick and roll, that's a lot. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. If you sit paint and try to take my slash away, then we're just going to 1-on-2 like the pick and roll situations like I was talking about. Kind of like this right here, where big man is just too low. Kitchen has sharp take. I mean, he did white it, but you get the deal. Sharp takeover. It's hard to defend that stuff if you're going to expect one guy to defend it. But then if you're going to play sides, then what do? I mean, you give up the slips wide open when you're down. So, like I was saying, that's why it's so important to stay ahead of the scoreboard if you're going to play sides defense, especially if you have an inside big on your team, because we are comfortable giving up 2s as long as we are up on the scoreboard. You can see we won 21-13 right there. Like I said, comfortable lead throughout the whole game. Didn't really have too many situations where it was tied up or if we were even down in the first place. So just keep in mind, if you're going to play this style of defense, you have to early on commit to it. You can't give up 3s early. You got to just stay with them blow for blow. If they're just going to trade 2s back and forth with you, you just got to hope that you get a chase down before they do or something like that, or get a lucky rebound, or hope they miss a white when they try to peek through the little gap between the sides. Long story short is, I put you guys on to a lot of different ways you can play sides defense really well in this, and I really just want to steer you guys in the direction of playing sides, or at least throwing that wrench at them a couple different times, because if you come out here and you try to play front back all game, point guards are going to get open. Elite point guards are going to get their shots up, and they're going to get 3s, and it's going to hurt you because then you can't play sides defense. And then when you start to play sides defense, because you're like, okay, we got to stop this point guard from getting 3s up, because you can see, I mean, Kitchen shot 6 3-pointers this game and made 5 of them. That shouldn't be happening. But the fact that it did early on, we started with a 6-0 lead because we just got 2 3-pointers and got 2 stops. So what did that result in is now they try to play sides defense because they're like, okay, we got to stop the 3. Well, then I get 2 or 3 slips, and just like that, we're still getting efficient buckets with only 2 turnovers and, like, you know, miss 1 shot. And I think I got the O board on our 1 miss too. So literally the only reason we even failed on offense in this game is just the turnovers. Now, again, I do want to stress one last time, I do understand this isn't the highest competition level. I'm just teaching you guys who are possible park casuals who don't take this game too seriously and you get so tired of fighting through screens all day, how you can do it differently. I would just recommend don't play with like super tall bigs when it comes to this 3v3 stuff. It's just not the move. For 2s, it might be, because sides isn't exactly meta on 2s. You can't just give up wide open slips because 2 points is 2 points in that. I mean, you can just live off of slips all day on 2v2. You can't live off of slips all day on 3v3. That's just how it is. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this video to 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. If you made it to the very end of the video, put LA in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.